Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I'm going to do my duping of new makeup releases. So I typically do this once a month, as you guys know, where I dupe some new releases that either caught my attention or I may or may not be interested in. And I go ahead and share with you guys some alternatives or some similar products in my collection that may or may not help you, but it always helps me out. So I'm going to share with you guys the 5 that I have here for you guys today. You guys saw that on Saturday I do buy products, so I did purchase a product which was the Flight palette. My apologies for not saying that right. I swore it said Fight palette, and for a while I thought, I'm like, I wonder why they called it Fight palette. No, it's the Flight palette. I am wearing it on my eyes again today from Menagerie Cosmetics. I'll link it up in the iCards if you are interested. So I don't want you guys to think that I don't buy anything, because I do, but I'm very, very selective, and this series helps me to not try to get everything and anything, because I'm pretty sure I could dupe almost anything out in the market, especially eyeshadow palettes. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Project Pan. That is something that interests you. Subscribe, join us. And now without further ado, let's get on with the duping. Like I mentioned in all of these videos, check out the very first one, because it'll give you an understanding of exactly what I mean by duping and exactly my whole concept behind this. So if there's anyone out there that has never seen this series on my channel and you don't know exactly how I do it, you can go ahead and check out that video for more details as to how this came about. All right, so let's get started on the first duping that I'm going to do. It is the NARS. This is pretty, but I'm not going to get it. This is the NARS Summer Solstice eyeshadow palette. It is $49. It has rich bronze and golden tones, you guys. I do really like the NARS formula as far as their eyeshadows, even their face products. I think they do a very, very good job. I think that though they're very repetitive, so I have something in my collection that is very similar or gives me the same vibes as this particular one. So for me, I actually have the NARS Wanted palette. And if you look at the eyeshadows of the one that they're currently releasing or have released, is the Summer Solstice, very, very similar vibes. You're getting those nudes. What is it? What did they say? Rich bronze and golden shades. You can see that. And I'm also getting those red tones in here. This came out a few years ago, you guys, and I'm getting more shades in here than I am in this 9pan palette, and I'm better off with this one. I really enjoy this one. This is one that I featured a few times on my channel, and I still enjoy it to this day. So honestly, I'm not even interested in this eyeshadow palette. I duped it very, very well, and I'm also adding a green in here, which I can appreciate, and a darker brown. This is a dark, deep brown. This is not a black that I love. I would prefer to have a dark, deep brown like this than a true black in a palette. I think this works better for me. At least it's less harsh and I can use it different ways. So I'm going to skip out on the new NARS one because I have this one. Dominique Cosmetics is releasing a new palette, or probably has at this point released it, I'm not sure. This is the Now or Never collection. Now they have an eyeshadow palette. It's called the Now or Never eyeshadow palette. This is $25. It comes with 6 shadows. The downside to this eyeshadow palette, it does look like it has a pressed glitter. So already one down. So you're having 5 shadows. I have 2 palettes where I can kind of get the vibes. It all depends on what tones you're going for in this palette, whether you're more into the pinks or the mauve shades. But honestly, these Juvia's Place 6pan palettes are just as pretty. This is the mauves one, and you're getting those mauve pinky tones if you want to go a little bit more purpley. And these are under $15 if I remember correctly. You can probably get these for like $7 whenever they have a sale. I think I've seen these down for $7. You're not getting any pressed glitter in here. So this one's beautiful, and I think it goes really, really nice. Or if you're really wanting those pinky tones that this palette does offer, here's the pinks one. The pink one's a lot more vibrant, a lot more pink, but it all depends on where you want to take this palette. There is a red in this specific palette, but maybe you're not going for the red. Maybe you're going for those pinky purple tone vibes. So I feel like these two, the majority of the palette is more pink. So this one, if you really want a bright, bold pink in your face, Or if you want to tone it down a little bit, I would go with the mauves. Both of these are pretty. I do like the formula. I'm not a fan so much of the matte, but I think these are really good for the quality and for the amount of money you're spending on it. $25 for a 6-pan palette, and it's including a glitter. Now, most of us will use that glitter up, so you're technically paying $25 for 5 shadows, and you can get them for here, you guys. So I'm definitely going to skip out on that. I'm not even interested in it. I have enough of pinks and purples. I'm even wearing one that has more pinks and purples in it. So I'm good. I'm good. All right, let's move on to the next one. And this one was a little bit hard for me to dupe because of a specific shade, but I am sure that a lot of us have something like this in our collection. I don't, because I steered away from this trend when it happened. So I don't own any palettes with this specific thing, but I will show you something similar that I have that gives me the overall tone minus that one shadow that this is, you know, making it stand out. This is the new ColourPop, and you guys know I always do ColourPop and Morphe in here. ColourPop Lemon or Limoncello. Limoncello, I guess. Limoncello is the name, I'm assuming. It's a 12-pan palette. Now, if you see this, you see that it has that pop of blue. I stayed away from the pop of blue trend. I didn't purchase any palettes that had neutral shades with a pop of blue because I didn't feel like that was something that I wanted. And honestly, I don't miss it. I couldn't find anything in my collection really with this specific color story, but I have shared this specific ColourPop palette in the past with other duping, and I feel like this is very similar. Just add the blue shade in, and that's the I Think I Love You palette. If you look at the Limoncello, the only color that you're missing is the blue. If you were to take out this black right here and put a blue, I feel like you're getting the vibes of this palette. You're getting those rustic browns. You're getting those bright yellow lemon green shade, which is this one right here. You're getting the dark browns, which is right over here. You're getting the neutral shades. You're getting those golden yellowy shades. You know what I mean? Like you're getting the vibes of that. All you're doing is taking this black out of here and putting a blue. And you have the palette. These are magnetic, so you can pop these out and put whatever shade you want in here. So I feel like this one really does give me that whole entire feel of this limoncello type of palette. I don't need it. I don't care for it. Yeah, it has 2 shades that are a little bit duochrome, but really, are you really going to buy this palette for those 2 shades? I would just recommend getting those singles from an indie brand that you like and then popping them with this palette or a palette similar to this. I did not go for the whole blue trend situation, so I specifically don't have one, but this is very, very similar. Just taking out the black and adding the blue, and I am good to go. All right, this one. Now, Pixie came out with quite a few large palettes. They came out with like a lip palette, which I would highly recommend not to purchase, then a face palette, an eyeshadow palette, and then another face palette. So these are all about $18 to $24 at Target. The one specifically I'm trying to dupe or wanting to dupe or even care to be interested in, if I were interested in any of these 4, was the Pixie and Tina Young collaboration. Now this looks like an all neutral palette with like an orange and a few blues in it. And I kept looking at this. Now I don't have anything specific as far as the circle, like the pans of them, but I have a palette that gives me the same vibes with the amount of shadows, and I don't feel like I need that one. And honestly, it's the OG Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. If you look at this palette and you look at the one that I'm sharing with you guys, this one just has a little bit more eyeshadows as far as the brown tones, but you're getting the same exact vibes. I have the blues here that one is sharing. I have the oranges that one is sharing, and then all the neutrals in between. If I have this one, why would I care to get that one? And I have the original one, which is the better formula than the newer one. As far as I know, that's what everyone keeps saying. So I like this one. I kept it, and it has been here over many, many declutter of eyeshadow palettes because I did like this one. I still like this one, obviously, if I still have it in my collection. So this is one that I would reach over this one. I am very specific when it comes to large palettes in my collection because I do not have the real estate to house them in my collection. So if I can dupe a large palette with a large palette I already own, I don't need it. I'm not spending the $24. This was 30 some dollars. So for a few more shadows and a little bit more variety, I'm good. This one is going to stay. I am nowhere near coming the one from Target. Last but not least, I remember posting this on my Insta stories, wondering why in the world would anybody want this palette? But hey, there's always a palette for everyone, just like there's a home for everyone and there's a car for everyone. This is the new Beauty Bay, what is this? Fiery 2.0 color palette. This has 40 42 eyeshadow palettes, not 24. I didn't reverse that, you guys. 42. Why in the world would you need 42? Now, this one has what, 30? What? This one has 35. So this has 35 eyeshadow palette, 35 pans. And look how large this one is. Imagine how much a 42 pan one would be. Now this has a lot of repetitive eyeshadows. You have a lot of yellows, you have a lot of oranges and a lot of browns and like a row of reds. It's way too many, and I like the whole theme of it, but I have it in a very, very condensed form that I'm so content with. I am not even batting an eye for this one. That's the Yes Please palette from ColourPop. Look, the Yes Please palettes gives you exactly what that one's giving you, just condensed in a packed way where it's exactly what you would want without having so many repetitive eyeshadows in it and taking up so much space in your collection. You got the oranges, the reds, the bronzes, the yellow, the neutrals, the in-betweens. You got it all right here where you don't need this one, you guys. Unless you're somebody who loves the formula that much and you really want a palette this large with this many varieties of like 5 different colors, then by all means, go ahead and get it. But honestly, if you have something like this, if you even have this palette, you don't need it. You do not need it. We went through a period where maybe 2016, 2017, where it was non-stop warm tone eyeshadows. So I'm sure if you are an eyeshadow lover or you are a makeup lover in general, you sought out and purchased a warm tone palette. So this is just a warm tone palette with a brighter intensity, saturation to the shade. So if you have something like that, you already own it. And I have it in this. I love, obviously this was one of the first ColourPop palettes that I purchased, and I still have it to this day for a specific reason. I don't need that one, nor do I care for it. I am completely full from quenching my thirst with every single palette in this collection. So there you guys have it. Those are the 5 palettes that I am duping within my collection. Now I will say to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys wanted me to update, now that we're in March, I've been doing this now for 3 months, I believe, at least being consistent with it. I've done this in the past, but 3 months. And I know you guys wanted me to update you guys if I did purchase any palettes that I have duped out of this specific series. And I can tell you, as of right now, I have not purchased one eyeshadow palette that I have duped in this specific series. I don't have any intentions of doing it. I can care less, honestly. There may have been 1 or 2 that are still catching my eye, but like I said, if after a month, now it's been a month, if I haven't gotten it or it hasn't really continued to give me that itch, I'm not getting it. So at this point, I haven't purchased any of these palettes that I have mentioned that I have duped. I'm good. I'm content. I've told you guys that if something really does catch me, I'm going to think about it and really sit on it. And it has helped because it has saved me so much money, so much time and effort and space in my room to keep these palettes. So no, I haven't purchased any, and I will continue to let you guys know if I do. I can promise you guys that this time, by next month, I can tell you I didn't buy any of these either, because these definitely are not going to come in my collection. Last month I was a little bit hesitating, but I didn't purchase any. I don't own any of them, and I don't think I will purchase any of them either. So that's it, you guys. I'll link these down in the description box. Let me know what palette you have duped, if any of these dupes have quenched your thirst, or you're still interested in them. It's up to you. It's your money. Do whatever you want. I'm just here to try to help you out as well as myself to save ourselves money. Use what you have. Enjoy what you have, because a lot of things are very repetitive nowadays with the market being so saturated. I'll put my videos right over here for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.